these next 5, one of us had a difference.
Yeah.
So the last section is the ones where we all agreed. But there's each one of these, there's one person who went rogue here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, Alvin, Jamal, Kendre, Taysom Hill, Adam Prentice. Adam was just ahead of Horvath throughout this process. I think that still could end up being a good battle, though, especially once they start doing live stuff and maybe some more of the passing attack gets involved. But we didn't see a ton of fullback stuff in general throughout these practices. But this is how I would go about putting that together. Horvath is going to have to beat out Prentice for me.
One thing that is interesting in this group is when we turned in our picks, me and Nick both on our own hadn't talked about it, listed Taysom Hill with the running backs and fullbacks. And I think you turned him in with the tight ends, Brandon. But he obviously is positionless or whatever. But it is funny. This is groundbreaking. Taysom Hill's never been listed with running backs before. And I think it's where he belongs, to be honest with you. But because of him, now, Brandon, you almost kept Horvath and Prentice.
That's right.
And then Taysom Hill is technically a fullback / tight end or whatever. So I agree. I like all 3 of them. I went with Prentice ahead of Horvath basically because he's the known commodity, but not to this coaching staff. They're both starting on equal ground with this coaching staff.
Right.
So that's definitely a tough decision, but you almost kept all 3 of them.
I did, but I went with Horvath over Prentice because we've seen Prentice. We've seen like kind of where he can be. Last year against Tampa Bay, he had that fumble on the goal line. He wasn't reliable as a pass catcher at certain points, but Horvath, I'm not going to say it's just because he wears the visor, but he comes with a sense of athleticism and kind of an aura of, okay, I can go out there and do what I need to do. Not saying that Prentice can't, but Horvath is unknown, but the coaching staff has an ability to mold him into what they need him to be in this offense. So that's why I went with him ultimately. Now let's go on the offensive line.
All right, you're the only one who kept Josiah Ezram, and now we're talking about a 7th-round pick who's a bit of a project. We saw him mostly with the 3rd string in the spring, so I felt comfortable putting him on my practice squad. He's not a guy I'm worried about risking through waivers, and I went with guys who I think will play. I actually, when I said I had Equanimeous St. Brown at first, I did not have Shane Lemieux on my team. I feel like keeping Lucas Patrick, Oli Udoh, and Landon Young, I feel like I've got all my spots backed up. Patrick, guard and tackle. Udoh, tackle, or Patrick, guard and center. Udoh, tackle and guard. Young, tackle with a little guard ability. But Shane Lemieux got some first-team looks, some second-team looks, so I put him on there. But he was my last guy on probably. But I left Ezra off because I just don't – I see all those guys more ready to play in week 1.